one of my strongest and most fervent desires is that people like Karla and the other people from Outwards whom we've interviewed, in this particular moment, I pray, and I literally pray, that they will never think that their work has been in vain. We are experiencing times that probably none of us, even Karla in 2016, when she said with a prophet's wisdom, when she said, everything we think we've gained can be taken away, even Karla might not have imagined what we're facing today. But we also know, and as Jordan testified, we know that we have faced unbelievable challenges, including when there was no movement whatsoever. And through the example of people like Karla, look, here we are today. We're in a building. We're in a freaking building in the heart of New York City. That alone should say that our progress in many ways is not reversible. And I pray that people like Karla and other interviewees here in the room who we have interviewed will know that their work has not been in vain. But better to hear from Karla than me. And Karla, I'd love to invite you up now to say a few words to this group of people.
Thanks. Okay, the hardest part of activism these days is getting up on stages. To say, this stage kind of reminded me, before I talk about tonight, I just want to say, in 1973, in the Modern Language Association, we had put together our very first panel about gay and lesbian issues. And we had our prize speaker, who was Richard Howard, a poet and critic, and we're so happy to have him. And he was a great man. He got up on the stage and he sat down at the panel and he was rocking his chair a little bit. Next thing we knew, he had gone over backwards over the back of the stage, and we had lost our first great find. But no one got hurt, I have to say that. So it worked out okay. I'm so pleased to be here tonight. I was so happy 10 years ago when I met Mason, and he had this project, and I'm always happy to support new projects because we all have to take on something that hasn't been done or that has been done, and to do it differently. And thanks also to Jordan, what you said was really beautiful. And I'm really happy to be here with friends, and I've seen people, from all walks of my life, and some of my GLF brothers. I saw Perry and Mark Horn here. Really great to see people. I want to start really by just saying a few words. I want to call upon Audre Lorde, who was a wonderful friend of mine and a great poet. And in her book, The Black Unicorn, she has a poem which is called Litany for Survival. And in that poem she says, we were not meant to survive. And someone in the audience, when she read, asked her, who's we? And Audre said, you. And we in this room, we were not meant to survive. We were not meant to survive biblical stonings. We were not meant to survive being burnt at the stake or thrown into a pond in the Middle Ages with stones around us. We were not supposed to survive the concentration camps, the re-education camps. We were not supposed to survive the McCarthy era. We were the ones who were supposed to be thrown out into the snow, thrown out into the woods, thrown out into the sand. But here we are. We're here, right? We're not just here, we're thriving. We have created a gay culture, an LGBTQ culture the world would not be the same without. They think that they've got culture, but without us, the Sistine Chapel, if Michelangelo was straight, it would have been done in white with a roller. We have gay sensibility, queer sensibility, and we still have that. And we've had it for, without us, what would happen? Years ago, when the Gay Liberation Front started in 1969, we had two main goals. We wanted to get rid of political enemies. And the political arm identified three main enemies. These were the church, the psychiatric institutions, and let's see, what was the third one? And the laws, the state, and I lost one of our things. But we overcame them. We overcame most of those, except not so much for the church, right? We didn't make great inroads, but we have many, many liberal institutions today. And then there was the second arm, a cultural arm, where we wanted to create our own culture. We wanted centers like this. When I was growing up, the only place that I could go to socialize was a dingy lesbian bar, where the owner was supposedly lesbian, but was owned by the mafia, and the only words she ever spoke to you were, drink up or get out of here, goyles. That's the way she spoke to us. And, it was really just not the most pleasant experience. But we have built an entire culture. We built music and art, and we have won at the last Emmy Awards. Apparently 30% of the actors who won were LGBTQ, right? Without us, the world is going to go back to black and white. And I'm not just talking about the fashion they're going to lose, because I don't know how many fashion designers will be left for them. It'll be, heteropatriarchy in overalls. That will be what is left for us. So we have come a long way, and we're not going back, because they can't destroy all this. They can't burn all our books. They can't destroy all the CDs and downloads of music in our home. They can't take away all of these archives. And there are all of these wonderful foundations out there, like Outwards. You're sitting in the center, which we built with our sweat and our money, and here it is, and it's not going away. And we're not going away either. And so if I can quote here a little bit and misquote from Sparta, an army of love cannot lose, because we're going to stand together as friends and as lovers, and we're not going back anywhere. We're going to keep on keeping on, and we're not going back, we're going to keep on working, we're going forward, and these people are going to be stepped over eventually, just as they're trying to step over us. Thank you.
Thank you, Karla. So we have in my hand the Outwards 2025 Legacy Award, presented to Karla Jay with our great gratitude and respect.
This is the best plaque I've never seen.
Let me help you back up.
Okay, thanks.